Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV, and I'm joined by Bernard Deneen from the Citizen Channel. And you can, if you want, please do follow Bernard. It'll be his channel link will be in the comment, not in the comment section, but the description section below. Please give Bernard a follow. How many you're up to? Coming up to 4,000 subs now, aren't you?
It'll be a while till I hit 4,000, mate. It's sort of a couple a day at the moment, so about
That's how you get to 3,500.
Just over 3,000. 3,537. There you go.
Wow. still nudging forward. So please give Bernard a follow. Lots of good stuff there. Right, guys, we're here to talk about the game yesterday, the day after review, we call this. Manchester City eventually beat RB Leipzig by 3-2. You were there. I wasn't, sadly. I did say I wasn't feeling well. I'm sat at home with my ticket.
I'm surprised you didn't hear my voice, mate. It's probably,
one of the only ones.
Lack of atmosphere, yeah.
I was going to start with that. What was the atmosphere like? Obviously, we saw after the Liverpool game, Pep wanting a bit more noise from the fans. What was it like?
They got less noise from the fans, unfortunately. I don't know. I was in the ground fairly early. Their fans, no noise whatsoever. I don't think they've got that passion that following. Okay. They've only been invented about 10 years, haven't they? Something like that.
Yeah. How long did we
I mean, we tried. The South Stand tried a little bit. There was odd bits and pieces. But I'm not going to blame, the game. I mean, the fans should be up for it anyway. But I mean, literally next to me, I took a picture that's on one of the vlog I put out today. Just 6. I mean, and my lad doesn't go to these games anyway. He objects to having to join the cup scheme, and then he tries to get tickets, which he can. And then he always messes it up. So I'm not going. I can't be bothered. So, but I had 5 empty seats next to me in the row next to me, and it was supposed to be sold out last night. I noticed seats dotted about.
It was cold, mate. It was cold. Yeah. It was enough to freeze your brass monkeys off.
Yeah. It's not the reason I had my layers on. I'm still wearing what I wore last night. So I get cold quite easily, but that's not an excuse. The fans weren't really fantastic. Look, we tried, but when you got a few dozen singing, it's not the same, is it?
I'm not going to criticise the fans as badly as you are. I'm just going to give reasons why. Maybe traffic can happen. Icy roads, whatever. And if you're coming down from Scotland,
nothing on it, was there, mate? I mean, there's nothing on the game. I mean, at 2-0 down, we were just as we were like that at 0-0. It's just nothing. It didn't mean anything. And I was confident we'd come back. Actually, I was confident throughout that we could, because they were that poor and we were that bad that it couldn't get any worse.
Yeah. All right. I thought you were talking about Leipzig were poor. Leipzig were bloody brilliant that first half.
They were all right going forward. They were crap at the back.
Yeah, they weren't great, but
no, they were rubbish at the back. We should have had 4 goals. We should have at least 4 goals that first half, and we were rubbish.
4 goals? Well, I
definitely 3. There was that header from Diaz. Lewis should have done better. I think Haaland blasted one over, and someone else blasted one over. When we should be hitting the target. We should be hitting the target.
And Haaland had another shot
in the box.
He should have done better. A couple of chances, half chances, let's call them. But for Haaland, they're good chances. Half chances, a good chance. Well, let's start with him. He's got the record for the quickest or the fewest number of games to get to 40 Champions League goals. Fantastic from him. He will be the quickest of 50 because he's got 10 spare games to play with, so he's going to comfortably do that. Especially if he gets to start the next game. Talk about the team. It was a strong team. You can't deny that. Yeah. The weaknesses in that side, I'd say, were, and I wouldn't call the weaknesses. He put Ortega Moreno in goal. We had Jack Grealish on the left. I'm not saying he's a weakness, but we will talk about it. Doku is different gravy at the moment. And you could argue possibly in defence not having Nathan Ake, which we will come on to as well. But it was a very strong side. City wanted to win that game. There's no question about that. City wanted to win. Pep wanted to win that game. Well, Pep wanted to win, but some of the players, I'm not sure.
I tell you what, I think what happened, mate, was that they were so overwhelmed having to walk past the statues. He parked the coach up, so they had to stroll past the 3 Belly and it. I think they were so overawed. It took them 45 minutes to get going.
maybe they thought Bell, Lee, and Summerby would come onto the pitch and do the business for them. I mean, come on, with all due respect to the guys, two of them aren't with us anymore, and Mike Summerby's about 80 years old. So, having said that,
it gave Grealish a run for his money, though. Still, I think.
Oh, you said that. I'm going to clip this, and that's going out. Mike Summerby. Just say it clean. Just say Mike Summerby, even at 80, would give Jack Grealish a run for his money. Just say it for us. You're not going to say
80, it. Mike Summerby, buzzer, would give old Jack Grealish or young Jack Grealish a run for his money, even at 80.
There you go. I'm going to stick that out on Twitter, and you're going to get pelters, mate, for that. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong because.
On last night's evidence, we can only go off what we've seen. Jack's actually improved, I think, since Doku's come. I've been quite liked his improvement, but last night, no.
Last night there was the thing is I did made some notes yesterday. I said he didn't have the guile to beat his man, and he didn't have the pace to beat his man. So what's the point? What is that's a concern of mine. What he won a cheap free kick. I remember that, and then another one where he went down very easy. Ref didn't give that. Ref was, I thought, pretty good. He weren't giving some of the cheap ones that people were looking for from both sides. But look at that. It was two different halves, a game of two halves. That first half, they battered us going forwards. So let's talk about that. They got, obviously, we mentioned the goals that we could have and should have scored. But I want to say they pressed us. They pressed us quite hard, actually, at times. They weren't physical, but they were right up with us. The pressure was there. They scored 2 goals on the break. Now, I said they were really poor defensive play from City, but on the other hand, Openda, he was fantastic. Let's start with a positive about Openda. He was great.
Was he fantastic? I'm sorry. I mean, I think me and you, as central defenders, could have made a better effort than those two guys. Like Akanji. I mean, Akanji's been playing superbly. I mean, It was Sunday League defending, mate. I mean, Openda did everything right afterwards. Don't get me wrong. He took the goals really well, but to get through, he may as well just say, guy, stroll through. There was nothing clever, and Diaz just dived in. And
Diaz was
let the ball do the work, Openda. Just let the ball do the work, and he was off.
Oh, no, I'll give him credit because he had the pace. He had the.
Oh yeah, that's nothing wrong with the goals. Nothing wrong with the way he took them. But the fact that Diaz and Akanji let him get past him in the first place. Oh yeah, was schoolboy. It was schoolboy. Sunday League errors.
There's no way. I said there's no way that Diaz out on the right, basically at the halfway line on the right hand side of the pitch, right up there, diving in.
It was actually about 7 or 8 yards in their half. I mean, I didn't, obviously where we are, we can't get the angle right from where I am. But when I saw it on camera, it was even well before the halfway line.
It's like, why are you diving in on a guy that is miles quicker than you? You got to, I would suggest you stand off him, you jockey him, you slow him down, give your other players a chance to come back. Then that second goal, then Gvardiol, he busts a goal, gets there, and I think, again, schoolboy error. The guy's on his left foot, he's going out wide, you let him cut inside.
Yeah, he got sold, and yet it wasn't that difficult to see what was going to happen.
Yeah. You just got to slow down and keep him on his left foot, keep him wide, don't let him cut inside. As soon as you let him cut inside, then the goalkeeper's got no chance because he's got 2 sides of the goal to aim for. And I'm not going to blame Ortega. I thought it was a bit slow on the first one going down because it was like a slow motion dive. The ball was in the net and he was then diving, but it was difficult to save. And the Kanji one, look, I don't know what Akanji was doing because one, he wasn't near his man. That was the first thing. I think it was Diaz playing him onside. I'm not going to blame Diaz for that. But Akanji wasn't near his man, and then he kind of tried to nudge him, and it didn't work. And
he's trying to be. He's a big lad. He tries to be physical, and totally didn't make any contact with him.
Yeah, it was really, really poor from us in the first half. But what changed in that second half? Obviously, Diaz was lucky to stay on the pitch because I think a lot of other refs would have given him a second yellow card, even though the fella dived. but he gives a free kick, and it looked bad. Diaz was lucky. I think if he didn't have a yellow card, he'd have got a yellow card there. So we made that change at halftime. We brought Nathan Ake on for Ruben Diaz, and within 7 or 8 minutes of the second half starting, we brought Doku on for Grealish and Alvarez on for Walker. Let's talk about Nathan Ake first. He did all right. He did better than the other two fellas, didn't he? He had...
he slotted in at centre half, centre back, and in defence of the other guys, I don't think they were as effective moving forward in the second half. I think we took control, even though Rodri had a shocker really again. We sort of took control of the middle of the park, mainly thanks to a young guy from Stockport, I think, who didn't have the greatest first half like most of us, but I didn't have a man of the match last night. I had a man of the second half because I can't give anyone man of the match last night. But Mr. Foden moving more central, I think, made the big difference.
I think the few players made a difference. Doku was dangerous. He was always having 2 men on him, but he was more. And I've criticised him for not making the right decisions and not being effective enough. I want goals, assists, and right decisions. I think he overall helped to stretch the play, and he was committing to at least 2 players from the Leipzig side every time he got the ball. They had to chase him, and then that gave Gvardiol space. That helped to give Gvardiol the space for his pass to Phil, I think, for Phil's goal. Obviously, Haaland eventually scored his goal. I can't remember who passed it. Who passed it to Haaland? Was it? I can't remember. I lost it.
Foden, was it Foden?
Foden. Foden slipped it through to Haaland, and Haaland scored. The second one was the pass from, I think, Gvardiol to Foden.
Yeah, Gvardiol, yeah.
And then the third one was Doku to Foden to Alvarez, who I don't know why he didn't have a shot first time. He was taking his time on that. Alvarez took an extra touch.
Picking his spot. Apparently, Pep told Phil Foden to pick his spot, so he must have said similar things to Alvarez because he's very good at that, Alvarez. Sometimes he's been snatching recently, but that one, he took his time. It took a deflection from Foden's pass, didn't it? It wasn't an assist as such because it took a deflection off the defender and fell to Alvarez, who calmly slotted it in. He just took his time and put it in the corner.
I thought he was holding on to it too long, but the end result was what was required. So what changed in that second half, besides us probably getting a rocket up our backsides and some players stepping up the game and the substitutes making a bit of a difference?
Yeah, I as I said, at 2-0, I wasn't worried because we couldn't be that bad. We couldn't be that bad again in the second half. We just started playing a little bit more football. They say you've said they played very well up front. You could see they're not a very good team. I don't know what sort of team they had out last. I don't know how many changes they made to the game at the weekend. I don't know if they had a weakened team out. I'm not too sure, but you could just see we were half decent. We'd drive a tractor through them, and that's what happened. Of course, we took our chances in the second half as well, which we didn't in the first half. It could have easily been 3-2 at half time for us. And of course, the chances in the second half came, similar sort of amount of chances, a couple of skied again, but we took, that was the difference. We took our chances. We didn't take them in the first half. And of course, as I said, obviously Pep jigged it about. We got Ake at the back. Phil was playing perhaps more central. We took Grealish off. Alvarez was on. We took Walker off as well, who was a total waste of space as a captain. Haaland was going around G'ing the players up. I remember a corner for them, and he was literally going to each player and saying something to him, and and Walker hadn't done anything in that first half. In that first half, surely your captain gets a grip of you and sorts you out. He was, I don't know what, again, it was just too cold for him, I don't know.
We were wobbling in that first half. But second half, I think once we got that first goal, I was pretty sure we'd score a second. And then once we got that...
I expected a minimum draw. A win was nice. I would have been happy with a draw after being 2-0 down. But
I agree with that.
They just couldn't... Once we upped it, we went from playing Sunday League football to a decent standard Saturday League football, I think. That was the difference.
No, I think we were different. We were better, and that put pressure on them. I think us being better negated them. Having said that, you
had an offside goal. How close was that? I don't know
how close it was, but it was shocking defending.
Yeah.
It,
I mean,
it was,
was that 3-3 at that stage?
it was 2-2. No, it was 2-2. Sorry, at that stage.
So it would have been 3-2 for them.
Yeah. But it's like, hang on, how were we defending? Was it 3-on-3 or they had 3, we had 4? It was a mess, that defense of ours. And I'm thinking, what you're playing at? You've been caught out twice in the first half. What you're doing, to be, it's a lack of concentration. And I think it's at 22 games now with 5 clean sheets. It's pretty poor. It's a stat I'm going to mention again and again and again, because we're going to have 5 or 6 clean sheets on the bounce just to get 50%.
He knows it. He knows there's a problem. You're hoping that, obviously no sign that we're sorting it last night. We're hoping we're going to sort it for Sunday, obviously. But I mean, if a team could turn us over from the halfway line, it's Tottenham Hotspur.
Absolutely. But look, we finished top of the group. I think it's our 10th home win in the Champions League on the bounce. So we've done pretty well. We haven't lost at home since 2018 in the Champions League. So I think we're doing...
Job done. Just took a bit of time getting there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're still at that stage where we're not playing brilliantly, but we're getting the results. And, okay, we've got to accept that. We've got to be happy that we are getting results, even though we're not playing well. And hopefully we will start to play well at some point. Because if we were losing games or drawing them and playing badly, I think there'd be a bit more rumblings from the fans, because it's been going on all season. We're almost in December now, so we've had 3.5 months or whatever of this. It's hard to find many good games that we've played, and that I dare say that's because the good games we played are partly because of the opposition we played as well. So, but we roll on to the Spuds at the weekend. And then I think, if I'm right, we got the big one the weekend after against Aston Villa away from home.
Midweek, mate. Midweek.
Oh, yeah, it's midweek. Sorry, yeah, it's midweek. And that's away from home as well. So that's on Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's on Wednesday. Yeah, it is on Wednesday. So,
yeah, it's a big couple of games.
Yeah, big couple of games coming up. So we got to get some points in the league. So thanks a lot, Bernard. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you can hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. Thank you very much, Bernard, and we'll see you around Blues.